a lot of times we judge people for the fruit, but we hardly examine the root. So we are mad, we're upset with somebody because they did this to us, or they committed something towards us, or acted out of character, but we don't think about what led to them, feeling that way. And then sometimes we got in that situation with them because there were really, our origin stories were similar. There was a similarity there in our roots. And so I say that because when it comes to your regret, like if you're feeling regret that leads to shame, then you may need to do something that we call inner healing. And that starts with forgiveness. Like you have to walk through forgiveness of yourself. I've had to walk through forgiveness of myself and all the parties involved. This is like a step in like deliverance. Like I had to go back and like examine the roots that led to some of this stuff. Like it's deeper than just, than just a sin. But a lot of times there are roots that we have to dig deep on. Like I had experienced abandonment and rejection at a young age. When I was 8 or 9 years old, that's when my father left the home. And now as a young man, in a single parent household, I'm trying to navigate my identity. And so there's moments I've had to go back and inner healing, and the Lord has had to like do a work on my heart, spiritually, to where I had to go and forgive. I had to go forgive my father. I had to go and think about those moments, that I had experienced that led me to the rejection, that led me to wanting to be accepted in other arenas. It didn't just start when I was 26 years old, but it started, feeling that abandonment, at a young age, or feeling rejected for throughout school, elementary school, middle school, not, finding yourself, those things. We all encounter a variety of different experiences that we experience trauma through, that we experience that trauma that leads to bondage, from being hurt. And like seriously, there are things like in the spirit realm we have to like. It starts with like forgiveness, like forgiving yourself. Sometimes you might need to forgive yourself multiple times, and kind of return to that. Like, yo,
right.
You gotta really let this go. Like, you gotta really take that, sit with God and say, look, Lord, I forgive myself for the role I played with this. I forgive this person and the sexual group, whoever it is. Like, I forgive them for this. Lord, I even go back to my roots, the roots of trauma, of unforgiveness, of abandonment, of rejection that made me feel like I have to seek this on an outside source. And Lord, I ask that you heal me now, like from these things, because this is the root. And that's always done like in the presence of God, whether it's in the right environment, in a church setting where the presence of God is there's freedom there, or people can walk you through that. And assist you with that, or whether it's like in your own room, in your own space. Like some of these things I didn't know about until like I got married, and I had to walk through some inner healing. Like I walked through inner healing. I had some walking through inner healing like a few months ago. And to be transparent, it was like some stuff, even some roots of like grief. I lost my father in 2019. And so I realized how like even that relationship, when you're not affirmed by the people that you're supposed to be affirmed by, sometimes we feel more validated in other people, and we find that in the relationships that we enter into. Find it from other people when we don't get it growing up, and so we have to learn how to like become aware of like what is really the root. Okay, I know you're doing this. I know you outside. I know you wilding, but what's the really the root of this?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can look at it's the root, but depending on who you are, where you come from, how you've been taught. Some people need the Spirit of God to like really reveal it to them. And when you uproot the roots of things, like a lot of times the fruit, will follow. It will begin to follow.